Member FDIC. Copyright 2025. J.P. Morgan Chase & Company.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Bachelor Happy Hour. I'm Joe.
And I'm Serena.
And we are here today with Ryan and Trista, and we want to do a quick shout out to David's Bridal for sponsoring this podcast.
Yeah, thank you so much, David's Bridal. We are all here in LA for the iHeartRadio Music Awards, and we're so excited to chat with you guys today.
Let's get started. Ryan, you've never been on this podcast?
No, never. Sorry.
When was
I don't even know how to
you-
talk in this thing.
When was the last time you've done a podcast?
Well, I did one half an hour ago with Trista,
Okay.
but prior to that, it's been so long I don't even remember.
You're all warmed up.
I don't talk a lot, and that's a requirement of podcasts generally. They're
Yeah.
less interesting if
Step
you just sit
one
there.
is
Yeah.
talking,
Yes.
for sure.
Yeah.
I love
So
that you're starting it off like this. I'm hosting this, and I don't really talk a lot either. Actually, I do.
You have a lot to say.
I do. Okay, so what's new? Trista, how was Special Forces?
It was crazy. The last time we talked, it was before it aired, but
Yeah.
it had just been announced, right?
Yes,
Yes.
I think
Yes.
the first promo had just come out,
So true.
which is wild that we're now having you back on and it's just kind of wrapped.
I know. It's crazy. It was intense, as I said before. I am caught between the I'm proud of myself and I wish I would have stayed longer area. And I knew in the moment, you guys have seen it, yeah? Or you didn't?
We saw the first episode.
First
Okay.
episode.
So I'm assuming you're okay with me spoiling it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
spoiler,
you can
spoiler.
spoil it.
Because it's already out. So the second episode, or the breakdown of episodes is weird, but the second episode, when I leave, I had hypothermia the night before from like BUD/S training, like Navy SEALs training.
Yeah.
The day before, and I was broken down, like just to my limits of exhaustion, felt like a shell of myself, and was just honestly grateful to kind of be alive. And I had a mirror room interview, which is like when you sit down and kind of like they put that potato sack over your head and go talk to you in this little mini room.
Do you get to take the potato sack off?
They do. They
Okay.
take it off, yes. No, you talk to them with the potato sack on.
It's like a form of torture.
Okay.
Yeah, so they take you into this room and they have the potato sack and then they take it off and you just confide. They ask about who you are, why you're there, all of those things. And I, before the show, really wanted to get to that point. Like I wanted to connect with the DS on a human level. And I got that after I had hypothermia and left that room and felt like, okay, I really have gotten so much out of this experience. I'm going to give it, I'm going to shower. I'm going to, get as much sleep as I can, which is not a lot. And I'll see how I feel in the morning. I'm just going to let it play out. Mm-hmm. And when I was woken up the next morning, when all of us were woken up by essentially bombs going off, they threw this thing in a like metal trash can that like it sounded like there was gunfire all around us. And we woke up to that, and my heart was just like out of my chest, And I thought, okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
If we had woken up in a different situation, I might have stayed actually.
Right. Like at a spa.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
But if we had woken up and they had been like, okay, go get your grub,
Right.
go get ready,
Like
be
we're gonna
out.
have like a training morning or something that you can kind of use to like recenter yourself or ground yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah. Which they were like, no.
But
ma'am.
I felt like I was in a really good place where my mind was like, this is okay. You've done what you could do. I didn't want to be a burden anymore to the people who were really helpful to me, including like Golden Tate and Cam. And they really were so helpful to me in the moments between the tasks and the travel where you had to run or with like a 35-pound pack on your back. It was really hard for me. I felt like I just didn't want to be a burden anymore, and I had gotten a lot out of it. So I left. But yeah, it was a really great experience. I wish that he could have done it because it's so up his alley.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say. So you're a firefighter.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think the training is similar?
similar, but not the same. I think the things that she was sort of impersonating, the training that they were sort of giving her a small taste of, is such a small component of what I think the actual special forces guys are going through. But just to see how difficult it was for her and for all the other people on the show to just do that small component of it was pretty. It makes you really respect those men and women that actually go through the real thing. And I mean, like I was very impressed with Trista. I mean, just seeing her like there's this one scene where this guy, I don't know their names, but he's like, you shouldn't be here, you need to go home, and she's like, I don't want to go home, and then the next morning, I want to go home. it was like the perfect Trista moment. Like, she's so good at like just going all the way to her breaking point, and then it's like, that's it, I'm done, I'm going home. I'm calling it good.
What parts of the show, if you were on it, do you think you would have been really good at and then maybe struggled with?
Well, I probably would have struggled with all of it, but I guess that's
I
the like
point.
that. Like, that's probably the part.
Struggle.
Yeah, I would have been good at struggling, because that's sort of what I like to do. Yeah, but I think the stuff that they were doing, and then the stuff they continued to do even after Trista left, was crazy. Like, it was nuts.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Was there something you watched back where you're like, oh my God, I'm so glad I left before they did that?
Yes, the fight.
The fight.
And that was the same day that
What's
I
the
left.
fight? Tell us more.
So they basically put this like boxing helmet thing on that's like padded.
Yeah.
But not here.
Okay.
So literally this part of your
Not the
face.
moneymaker.
Right.
Do you have boxing gloves on?
Did they?
Yeah.
Yeah,
they're
they
not
had
I think
bare
they
knuckle
did.
fighting,
Yeah,
different.
yeah.
I did this and I did on The Bachelor. I'm dead serious. I got punched in the face. Yeah. I know. I was popping Advils for like 24 hours.
Oh my gosh. So during that, 3 people broke bones, nose and ribs.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So I was
Why
really
would
glad.
So they were
you're
basically...
forgetting where these fights took place. This is the one scene I saw.
What do you mean? Oh, on the top of a cliff?
On top of a
Oh, yeah. So Nathan Adrian, Olympic swimmer, rock star of a human. I love him. He's huge, like
Okay.
super tall.
Yeah.
Of course, they're going to pair him with Cam Newton, who is also massive, but he is like, like came out fighting guns a-blazing. And they were on the edge of a cliff. And from what I understand, Cam went like balls out. Like, he was like, I am going to kill you. Like, you've given me a task, guys, DS. I'm going to fight him and
What are they going to do when somebody
damage.
dies on
And
this
like,
show?
I
What are we doing?
Oh my gosh, that scares me so bad. But you know what's funny? I didn't really even think about that when I was there.
Really?
I was jumping off of a bridge that was 130 feet, I think, tall, something like that.
Yeah.
I did not even think about the fact that I could potentially die. I was just doing it and I felt safe in the moment.
Okay, well, that's good.
And I guess you could potentially die when you get in your car, too. So
100%.
Yeah.
So, you have
Knock on
Cam
wood.
Newton, who's massive, and he was kind of out for blood because they told him to be out for blood. So he's like following directions. But he, bam, broke Nathan's nose and almost pushed him off a cliff. So,
Jesus.
Are they
just-
like strapped in or anything?
No.
I'd be like, I swear to God, you pushed me off this cliff. I'm
no.
gonna sue you.
They were like it was like the
I'm
the
still
top of the
alive.
cliff, but I think they came very close.
That's
That's dangerous.
I know. It was, so I'm glad that, and then there was the submersion where they essentially sink you in a boat and you have to recover this box from under the water. Even though I was not having as many issues with the water as I thought I was going to, I think I would have had a hard time with that.
Yeah, water's hard. I feel like people underestimate
For sure.
water sports.
Yeah.
The best AI assistant isn't one that knows the whole world. It's one that knows your world. A custom assistant built on Watson X with IBM's Granite models can leverage your trusted data, be easily trained on your workflows, and integrate with your apps. It can be tuned to do just what you need, because the more AI knows about your world, the more it can help you do. Learn more at ibm.com/productivity. IBM. Let's create.
With the Venmo debit card, you can turn the spa day that your friends paid you back
For a distraction-free you need to find your right home.
If Blakesley were dating,
but they do prom, homecoming. You guys have children going to prom yet? All right, let's pivot a little bit to a lighter conversation. David's
Homes.com is bringing you all the in-depth info you need to find your right home. Homes.com. We've done your homework.
Yeah.
All right, let's pivot a little bit to a lighter conversation. David's Bridal, they
Smooth
offer.
transition.
I always thought they just did wedding dresses, but they do prom, homecoming. You guys have children going to prom yet?
well, we have a junior and a sophomore at their high school. It's only upperclassmen. So if Blakesley were dating an upperclassman, then she would go, but she's not. Max is a junior, but he doesn't really have a girlfriend. I don't know, like social events. I mean, he kind of comes from this cloth. Are not really his gig.
Ryan, did
So
you go to prom?
I went to senior prom. I did not go to junior prom.
Okay. Trista, did you go to prom?
I did, yeah. Any chance I got.
And your son's he's a really good hockey player, right?
He's a pretty good hockey player. Yeah, that's his
He
thing.
loves hockey.
Yeah.
How about golf? Do you golf?
No, but it's funny you said that because I think that's a sport that I need to start getting into because I feel like I can do that as I get older with my kids. I'm trying to figure out, because I'll play hockey now, but every other time I skate, I feel like I get hurt. If not every time.
Not feel like? You do.
Like I just separated some ribs. Like
Oh, no.
it's so fun, but I'm just getting beat up.
Yeah.
And golf, I feel like I'm less likely to get.
And it's actually
definitely.
fun.
Yeah.
We went to Top Golf. Like my dad took me to Top Golf. I was visiting him in St. Louis, and I was like, "This is actually kind of fun." And so I think we could do it as a family.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Joe's gotten into golf in the last year or two.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I started last year. I'm really bad. Like it's hard. Like it's
hard.
You're getting better.
It's a journey for sure, but I'm finally now starting to see some progress.
I got him golf lessons for Christmas.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's fun.
That's a key, I think.
Yeah.
You gotta, I feel like, take lessons.
Yeah.
I don't know if you could just pick it up and.
But it
figure
gets.
it
I mean,
out.
it also gets pricey. Like you take lessons.
Yeah.
You take 5 lessons, and I'm like, okay, well now I'll take 5 more, and then I do course lessons, and it's like, okay, like I'm spending a lot of money to suck at something, and like
Suck less.
yeah, it's the suck less, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so last December you two celebrated 21 years of marriage.
We did.
Does it feel longer or shorter?
Huh.
Answer at the same time.
Both.
Ryan just mouthed shorter.
It went by fast. I don't know. Like it does kind of feel. If you think back, well, what's really weird is thinking back to how we like the whole thing. Like you guys know, and this will probably be your life at some point. But that the Bachelorette for us was so long ago. Like it doesn't even feel to me like it was a part of my actual life.
Right.
Because our life is so much different.
It's also
than
such
it was.
a blimp in time.
Yeah, just one little like thing, but it sparked all of this. You know, like the wedding. We got married in Palm Springs, which is a huge golf community. I don't know if you play.
I do.
Yeah.
I do actually. I'm just getting started.
We're actually going there for a wedding in 2 months too.
Oh,
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully the courses will be open.
Yeah. No,
Fingers
it's
I think they're open year round. Yeah.
Know what else we'll do?
I feel like it is really still a part of my life just because I, have
course.
made lots of connections and I am a social person. So, I feel like I am still in the Bachelor world more than he is. So to me, it's more like I don't forget. And people come up to us all the time saying, I watched with my grandma or my mom or it was our show, whatever. So that takes me back.
Yeah. You guys had
And
your
reminds me.
wedding. It was televised.
It was it was the first.
It was the first televised one.
First reality show wedding.
Did you get to pick your own flowers, dress, food, everything?
So yes, thank God, because I wanted to be a part of my wedding. The EP at the time was like, you tell me your list of dream everything, right? Flowers, wedding planner, food. I mean, everything. She's like, just create a list. And she asked about dresses. They had a personal, like a fashion show for me and my mom. Like they had models like showing me the dresses. And I ended up creating out of a couple different like I was like, I love this part of this dress and I love this part. So they created custom dresses, two dresses for me that I still to this day, like I feel so lucky that I got to do that.
We were talking to
Similar
Kelsey,
to what David's bridal does, actually.
Well, we were talking to Kelsey Anderson because she just posted in a bunch of David's bridal dresses and she's been trying on because she's wedding planning, and we were asking her about that process and if she was going to incorporate her mom's wedding dress in any way, because that's kind of become like a trend of girls refurbishing their moms, and I didn't, and I really wish that I had, because honestly I feel like the trend kind of just started around our wedding. Would you want your daughter to do that?
I would.
Even if it's like a welcome party dress.
100%. And she's seen it. My reception dress, I think that I could see her using part of that. And that would be, if she wanted to cut it up and use parts of it, like I would be totally fine with that. I've got pictures. It's all good. But yes, I have preserved them. You know how you do afterwards. And they're ready for her if she wants them.
Wow.
The best AI assistant isn't one that knows the whole world. It's one that knows your world. A custom assistant built on Watson X with IBM's Granite models can leverage your trusted data, be easily trained on your workflows, and integrate with your apps. It can be tuned to do just what you need, because the more AI knows about your world, the more it can help you do. Learn more at ibm.com/productivity. IBM. Let's create.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to
Mario's Bistro. The special tonight is the beef carpaccio.
With the Venmo debit card, you can...
It's featuring district details and reviews.
I'm sure you both have gotten asked this question so many times, so I hate to ask it, but I'm going to.
But I'm glad,
because I want to know the answer. Would you be okay with one of your children going on The Bachelor or Bachelorette?
We have been asked this question a lot.
Yeah.
And my answer is always the same. I would be a total hypocrite if I said no. You know?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, yes, the world has changed. And people are, I'm sorry, a little bit meaner, and they feel like they have instant access to people through social media, and they can say whatever they want, and there's no repercussions, you know? And so that, like, would worry my mama heart a little bit. And she... and I say she because there is no way that Max would ever want to do a show like this.
But you know what?
Well,
your family
yeah.
friends probably would have said that about you, right?
Yeah.
If you guys are similar.
I get that. Actually, I get that a lot. Like, how did you end up on that show?
Yeah. How?
What is the answer?
Well, it's I was roommates with a kid in college, and he was dating a woman who knew the casting producers for The Bachelorette, and they were looking for people. So she gave this guy all of the guys that were living in this house's names, and they called. And I don't know, you guys, have you ever heard of the show Temptation Island?
Yeah.
Yes.
So that was right around the same time, and so they called, and I was like, I don't think I'm the guy. Like, I don't think I'm made for this type of stuff. So I also was really bad at saying no, and they were very persistent.
He still is bad at saying no.
So they just said, "Oh, like, just fill out the questionnaire,
Right?
Or
Just
fly
call
out
with
and let us do
us."
an interview, and like just show up the first day." And so
just do night one.
Yeah, that's how it was. So I took a week off of work.
I feel like it was the same with you.
Yeah, pretty
That's
similar.
how they got you. They just kept thinking, well, just jump on one phone call.
I mean,
We'll fly you out. It's just a day. Like,
Right.
I essentially turned them down, like, because I was too shy and felt too embarrassed to film a selfie video of like why I should be on The Bachelor, and I said no. I said respectfully, thank you for asking me, but I can't do this.
Yeah.
And they said, well, then we'll set up a Skype, I think.
Yeah, they're very good at like
When they want
convincing
you,
to do it.
they'll get you.
they're persistent.
Yeah.
Well,
So
they'll
we have
kind
similar
of baby
stories.
step
That's
you
how.
into it, right? They're like just a little bit, And
thank goodness, you know.
Yeah, thank goodness.
I showed up and there were 24 other like super handsome guys. Like I was like, oh, I'm out of here. Like this, I remember Jamie Blythe. I'm like, that guy's Ken doll, like a real life Ken doll. I'm gone. And
Nope.
and I ended up somehow
He's
lasting, but
obviously very humble.
Yes.
Which is one of the reasons I fell in love with him.
Do you ever like, Trista, I mean, both of you made this work, right? But you were the first, and it's been 21 years, and you're still married, and we do see now, like, there's not too many leads that it works. Advice.
Yeah, that's the number one question. And sorry, I was on my phone. Our daughter is having some drama, so I wanted to make sure she's tucked in.
Is she on davidsbridal.com?
yeah, she can't figure out what
She's prom dress shopping.
She would love to be. Dresses are her thing. Anyway, so number one question. And I think that it is kind of cliche. It's what everyone says. Like all the books, all the podcasts, whatever about love and relationships is communication, trust, honesty, love, friendship. What else? I mean, I've answered this a billion times, but
there's lots of grace.
Grace, lots of grace. I just feel like, you know, we're all human, and if you have a bad day, then it's those little forgivenesses, like throughout your relationship. It's having fun together. It's enjoying life together. It's finding humor. I feel like laughter is so important. It's, you know, sharing values, being a good kisser.
Well, you have to take a longer term perspective, because the show, like for us, I think it was 7 weeks or something like that, and there is no real reality where you should be getting engaged in 7 weeks, really. And so we did, because everything is so intense. And then your real life comes back into play, and she was gone, and actually here in Los Angeles, and I was in Colorado, and she's going to Super Bowl parties and doing all this really great fun stuff, and I'm going to like passed out drunk people in the bar, you know, like I'm doing my job and she's doing hers. And she's, you know, you're offered all these different temptations and all these different sorts of things, and you have to be able to see past that and not just take the easy road, which I think a lot of people get sort of distracted and do that, and then it's hard to come back from that. So and like this was you guys 21 years ago. There's far less
social
to be
media.
distracted by than what people are dealing with today. So I think I don't blame anyone who doesn't make it work, because like it just doesn't work sometimes.
Life is hard,
but we just kind of got lucky, and I think honestly luck has something to do with it.
We were literally just talking about that with Charity and Dotton, where we were like, I think people need to give luck more credit. Like sometimes your person just wasn't on your season.
Totally.
Did you do bachelorette parties?
Oh, he did.
Oh yeah.
Where'd you go?
We can't talk about that. Probably our biggest fight in our life.
I thought you meant viewing parties of the show.
No.
No, like before the
I'm
wedding.
planning my brother's bachelor party, so I'm also like we can talk about golf or bachelor parties.
That's a whole series of podcasts.
Oh no, you guys should do a series.
So it was filmed?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And
I always said they should do more like a series that includes like following the couples that are getting married, or doing like a big everyone getting married this year, we're sending you on a bachelorette trip. Like, I think there's so much
that would be
opportunity there.
Because they did that for us. It was four parts, a 4-part series,
something
I think.
Like that, yeah.
And it was like meeting the wedding planner, doing all the like
very like
having
TLC.
the bridesmaids get their dresses, like all of the things. We like went to New York and we asked all of our party. What do you call it? Wedding party.
Yeah.
Like it was all a thing.
So this was like a mini series.
Yeah,
this
I didn't
wasn't even
realize.
like a.
It was for sure.
Yeah.
Wow.
They should do that though. That would be really fun. I think a lot of people love to watch all of the up and coming.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, and I know for
marriages.
us, like we like, it's so different now. Like, they're not doing the wedding specials the way they used to, and obviously we saw like the golden one, which was amazing. But yeah, I think it's so fun following along with the up and coming couples that are tying the knots.
Yeah, especially if you're like, I'm such a girly girl, and I feel like a lot of our demographic, like for the show, are like probably are similar, and they want to see it. It's all for me. Why I fell in love with the show after I was on it is just I love love. You know, I love watching people fall in love, and I love everything that's revolved around it. So that would be a great series. But maybe don't include the bachelor and bachelorette parties.
Okay.
Well, we could advise them on what to include and what not.
Yeah,
it ended up being a great time. Like we were at the same place where we were in Saint something.
Were we?
St. Thomas, St. Vincent, St. Martin.
Something like that.
A lot of saints.
One of the saints.
Yeah.
One of them.
And we were separate for a while, and that's where things weren't great. And
Things
then
got messy.
we got back together, and everything was really fun.
Okay, this was very interesting.
Yeah.
Thank you guys both so much for coming on the podcast and taking the time. Thank you to David's Bridal for sponsoring this podcast. And let's go to the iHeart Music Awards.
Thank you both so much for being on. Tune into Grant's finale on Monday, and we will have some exclusive interviews coming your way. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Bye.